Alrighty folks, so our 67 Chevelle's finally coming out of the hole here. And a little bit more, I gotta move that little wagon over that cherry picker, get that out of the way a little bit more. But as you can see, I got a tree cut that used to be right there. And we're getting her to come out of the hole here. It's been back here for over 2.5 years. And you know, it's just time to get out. If you haven't watched the videos before, you know, long story short, I had my two buildings back here, and when they brought them, they were supposed to set them over here. There's going to be one on this side of this tree right here, and then one on the other side. And long story short, what happened is they set them right here. And I won't get into it too much, but you know, didn't have no common sense. And then my Chevelle was back here. I couldn't wait 5 minutes for me to pull the car out and then put the shed here. And because I'm not upset that they set them here. I'm just upset that they blocked my Chevelle and it's been stuck back here for 2.5 years. But anyway, that's why it's back here. We're working on it, getting it out of the hole here, and we had to take this car, we had to completely spin it all the way around. And this is one I pulled the 283 out of and all that good stuff. The 283's out of my 2-door post I used to have, and I don't have it anymore. But we're getting it out of the hole here. I'm gonna pull this tire off here because it won't hold air. That's our only one that won't hold air, and just making it a little bit harder to move the car here. And take the come along right here, put it on the tree, pulling it around, and that's how I've been spinning this car around. I don't like doing it like that, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get this car out of here. But I mean, the whole car, I had to completely spin it around to get it out of here. It's a very tight squeeze, but we got it completely around now. And I'm gonna change this tire out. And what I'd like to do, if I can do it, because this car, I mean, it's really no weight in it now. There's no motor or transmission in it or any of that anymore. But for now, I'm trying to get out of the hole here so we can get out of here and get it parked beside our Biscayne. And that way I can actually have some room back here and be able to move my sheds around and all that good stuff. So this is the one we're putting a 94 TBI engine in that we're going to put double humps on. And talked about it, you know, make it appear correct and all that. But anyway, that's Five Auto. I want to thank you, buddy. Still got your hood up here, and I appreciate that. I am going to use that hood, and that hood, it's nice to have a nice original GM hood because it fits beautiful. I think I'm going to take this repop hood here and take these fenders and all this stuff off of it, and I might end up looking into selling all that stuff. But that hood, that's gonna be a beautiful hood right there. I'm gonna straighten this little dent out right here. It's not a big deal, and that'll come right on out. And we're gonna run that hood and I'll make it really nice. So try to get this car out of here because we're gonna take the body off the frame. I'm gonna get some 4x4s and some 2x6s, and we're gonna pull the front clip the rest of the way off, get all the glass out of the car. And we're just going to address all the issues. I'm going to clean the frame up. We're not doing a frame off restoration on it. I'm not doing nothing like that. But we got to get back to some of the originality of this channel here. That's what this channel is actually about. The 66 Chevelles and the 67s. This is 67 here. But that's actually what it's about. So, you know, I want to take in, kind of take this channel. I like to get it back to the originality of it. And kind of going a little bit of everywhere on everything, you know, with Fleming parts and Etzel stuff and all that. And hope y'all are enjoying all that. But look, it's going to rain on me here. But we're going to get it out. I don't care if it's raining or not. We're going to get this car out of here. And we're going to get it moved. If I can get it to at least to right there, that'll be good. But what I'd like to do, because we got a little hill here, is I'm going to swap this, take that one of our wheels off our 59 Biscayne and throw it on here. And because the rest of them got air in them. And I think we're just going to give it a good little push there. And if I can, might let gravity kind of work for us, and then we'll just coast it on down as far as we can. And we got brakes on the car, still got brakes, so I'm not worried about that. And so we can get it on out of here. Because if we can get to right there, the rest of it's a piece of cake. But we got to get over them ruts. We got a bunch of ruts right in there, so we got to get it past that. Once we get past that, it's another little hill. And it'll be right where we want it. So we got probably about 250 foot we got to move this car. So it took me about 2 days to move my F-150. It used to sit in front of this car here. And that's how I ended up moving that, is I ended up just come along, keep just chaining to trees and moving it, and it's a real pain, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But trying to get this stuff out of here, but it's gonna be nice to have some room back here. So we got a good tire right here, and the rest of our tires are good. So I actually had these rear tires balanced, believe it or not, but that was a little low, but I ain't worried about it. It's still holding there, so believe it or not, this one's actually holding there. I'm surprised. This one's never went flat, surprisingly. But we're gonna get this thing out of here. See y'all in a bit. And if you're wondering about Max, he's okay. You'll get a treat here in a minute, Bubby. I had to put you in here to get you out of the way, buddy. Alright, Bubby. Alright, so we're getting a little further along on here. And I got our wheel off our Biscayne, and went ahead and got it over here. Got this car up in there, a little sketchy here. And I got the heel going like that, kind of sloping that way. It's hard to see on camera, but that's what we got. A little sketchy, missing another half of the jack handle there, but you know, this is shade tree here, so trying to get this stuff done. But believe it or not, the brakes have been completely gone through on this car. I mean, it's nothing wrong with the brakes at all, but I mean, this car's got all new drums and everything on it. I mean, I'm gonna even show y'all real quick. But yeah, this thing's got all new hardware and everything, and it got new hubs, front wheel bearings, see the hubs, the inner and outer wheel bearings, new seals on the front, got new wheel cylinders, all the springs, hardware, self adjusters, new lines up here. Got brake lines, got the hoses. I mean, it's been completely, even the back brakes, they've been completely gone through. So the only thing that ain't done on the rear end is it needs axle bearings and axle seals, and that's it. But it's got 307 gears in the back, if you're wondering. And I got to redo the front suspension. I haven't touched that yet. But it needs shocks, of course, too. So it does have a front sway bar on it. But we're gonna get this thing back together. But as you can see, they're new drums, but a little surface rust in it. But it'll clean up just from sitting. But, I mean, these drums are nice. They'll clean up. They don't even have probably 10 miles on them. That's probably about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna quit blabbing. Get this drum put back on here. Get our wheel on it. Let's get it out of here. Oh, and I went as far as replacing all these wheel studs too. That's something I forgot to mention too. So I went as far as that, and I had new dust caps, but they didn't fit right, and I reused the originals. So that worked out good. Honestly, it didn't really need the hubs for the front, but I replaced them anyway. I'm never putting disc brakes on this car. It ain't worth it. But man, look at all the meat right there. That's a lot of meat. Short sheave to the front, long sheave to the back. Let's get her done. A little sketchy, but it'll work. Somebody ended up taking a torch and they oblong the holes on the wheel there, so it'll work. I tightened them up and enough to where it got centered so the wheel doesn't shift with the hub when I move it, because I don't want to mess up all that stuff. Because it's new. 6 years old. But and if you're wondering why I just don't put air in this tire, the reason for that is because when I moved this car and drove it on my property here, I hit a stump and it punctured it. And you can hear that. Well, that's the bead. But and look, I mean, this thing's bald, but it's just something I threw on it. Yeah, there it is. Yep, right there. And if you're wondering why I don't patch it, look, we're hitting steel right here, and it's just a junk wheel. So I'm gonna pull that block out and get that out of the way. Yeah, I'll make sure I put that there. I was smart enough to do that so I don't get run over there, because we are on a hill. And I'm gonna take this jack out, and I'm probably move my cherry picker over a little bit. And I believe we might hop in it, and because we still got brakes, and just give a little shove there. And if we can get to right there, I'll be happy. But I really don't want it to land in the rut. because we got pretty deep ruts. I'm kind of scared it's going well. And a pretty deep rut right there too. But Mike's dug these. I can stand it. I mean, it's probably good. It's probably about 10 inches down. Mike loves digging. I tell you what, he loves digging. He dug all this through here. See, I'm trying. Me and Max, you know, he's a good buddy of mine, and you know, we made a contract together that when I build my house, I need a foundation dug. So I decided to use Max, and I'm paid him with treats and everything and all that good stuff. And he, boy, I tell you what, he really loves them biscuits, and he loves them. He loves the bones, and he loves them jerky sticks for dogs and all that. Oh man, he loves them things. He's digging me a heck of a foundation there for my house. It's gonna be my house, folks. Put my foundation there. Probably about a foot down. But anyway, enough of that nonsense there. But we're gonna sit on the ground. We're gonna get it on out of here, and hopefully we don't have no trees in the process. We got brakes though. We got brakes, but it is going downhill, so I don't want to slide in the trees. So. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get out of here. Been wondering too, the sky's starting to clear up, so it did quit raining on me a little bit, so that's good. Probably about an hour into this right now, so good. She coming out, folks. She coming out. I like to film this, but kind of hard to do and hold the camera at the same time. And she's definitely got brakes. That's good. So got half a pedal. So the reason why we got kind of a half a pedal is these front brakes on the front here. When I first redid the brakes, I had them a little too tight, and I wouldn't have let the drum spin. I mean, it's not supposed to, you know, keep spinning like that. It's supposed to have, you know, a little, you know, just barely, you want the shoe barely touching the drum. Just a little bit, but you don't want it grabbing it to the point where you can't, you know, spin the wheel. So these are adjusted in. So we got half the brake. I mean, push down hard enough, they'll work, but it's because the shoes are, you know, adjusted all the way in. So I forgot about that, but that's all right. But I tell you what, it's tight fit. It's a tight fit. We'll be getting her. But look how tight this is. I mean, I can just about stick my hand through there almost all the way. But gotta take her time with this. But we're getting her out. We're getting her out. I think we'll go straight forward with it. And that way you don't run into our building here and tear up our quarter panel. So we're getting her out of here. But the tire's a little low right there. So man, this thing, it's nothing even holding this car. It's just from sitting here. It's just sitting here because there's so many rocks and just, you know, lumps and everything. I was hoping I'd get a good shove on it and just let it coast on down the hill here, but it ain't working out too good for me. So let's see if we get this thing a little bit further here, and let's get it on out of here. But we're getting there. We got it moved. It was sitting right here. We got it spun around. We got it out of there. We got a little bit further. Alrighty, folks. Whew, I had a breath here, but as you can see, we got her out. She's finally out after over almost 2.5 years. Finally out, thank God. Alright. Now we got to take this thing and I was right about it. These little ruts down here, they stopped it. And actually it really didn't go that fast. But it actually just stopped. And then move a little bit, and then stop, move a little bit. I think one of these drums is a little too tight. They're not stuck. It's just where I have them adjusted too tight, the shoes. That's what's wrong with it. That's why I don't want to roll right. But they're not froze, it's just it's too tight. I got to readjust them. But so now the fun task is, now we got to get out of there. See, we barely missed that rut. I mean, barely went right under it, and then it's still right there. So we got to get it out of there a little bit more. But thank God, I'm so glad to get this car out of there. But oh man, it's just been aggravating. It's been back here for a long time. But we're gonna get it on out of there, and we got to get it from right here, and we got to take it all the way through here. It's probably gonna take me, it'll take me today and probably all day tomorrow to do it, but it's got to come through here. Got to move it junk back here, and got to come all the way through here, and eventually I want to get it all the way around. My F-150 here, so gotta get this beast out of the way here. And that's so typical at 454 sitting this thing. Getting a little sidetracked here, but I'd love to take it 454 sit it down in this truck and take this body off of it, put that C10 body on here. I keep talking about so much, I'm gonna do it. But we gotta get it out of the way. I cut these couple stumps out behind it here. Well, I say out, but I cut them back a little bit. But I'm gonna see if I can take my digging iron and cut some of these roots out. If I can get that little stump there out of the way and get this one out of the way, I'm gold, and I can just roll this truck all the way on back. And we gotta figure out something about our Biscayne. That's got to be flipped completely around, because I don't like the front end facing that way. I want it facing the other way. So I gotta figure out something about that. But we got just enough room. I should be able to get my truck through here between these two. If not, I mean, I can throw a battery in that thing. I could move this thing out back a little bit if I got to, if I need more room. But I can't really move that, but that's not a big deal. But it'll be enough room, and we'll just take our time. If I can get my F-150 through here, and I want to get my F-150 to 89, get it sitting right beside our 78, and have just enough room so I can open doors up between both of them. And I want that right there. And then I'd like to have the Biscayne and the Chevelle and the Etzel have all three of them right here. So that way, well, if they were, on the road. But that way I can open the door up, have just enough room for it to open any of the doors up on them. And if I want to move one or whatever, I can do it. I ain't got to back out or any of that crazy stuff. Just pull straight on out. It just makes it easier. But I gotta get this brush pile. If I clean this brush pile up here and give me a little road where a little turnaround so I could come right on here and go all the way around. That's the plan, but it's just gonna take time. But trying to get this junk moved and get out of the way, so that way we ain't gotta worry about it anymore. But that's where we're at. So thank goodness. Been over 2.5 years. 2.5 years, folks, since that Chevelle's been out. So thank God. But all right, so I'm gonna get back on it and get our Chevelle, get in front of our truck right here, and then we'll stop with the Chevelle, take a break, and then we'll start looking in and figure out what we're gonna do about this stump here, this one here, because I don't want them hitting my rear end and tearing stuff up. So we gotta get these out of here. I like to burn them out of here, but I gotta be careful about that. I don't have a way put a fire out, so I gotta be careful about that. So I gotta figure that out. I'll probably end up just digging them up, but anyway, that's where we're at. So we're getting closer. So thank God. See y'all later.